Hello everybody and welcome, my name is Ursa and I know I've said this a few times in recent series over the last couple of months, but today we might have gone too far. I am about to film this not knowing if this game is entirely possible or not, hence that is part of the fun. Today we are playing as Cree, and you'll note from this isolated civilization little bit of text, as well as the fact that it is turn 192 out of 500. Yes, that's right, we are starting 192 turns behind. We have no technologies researched. I have nothing but slingers, warriors, and scouts, and we have spawned into a game at war with Babylon with 47 technologies. We are way beyond any sort of disadvantage we have seen on this channel so far. This could be impossible. Now, fans of the channel may recognize this sort of start. Yes, we are playing with historical spawn dates. It is a wonderful mod that pops civilizations into the game in chronological order. So you play the game from the beginning, 4000 BC, and you get places like Sumeria and Egypt appearing right at the beginning of the game. And as you go through, you might get your Gauls and your Englands and your Arabias, and lastly your Americas and Canadas. They literally don't exist until the game puts them in, and we have been spawned into the game in 1310 AD. Why exactly that date has been picked out for the Cree in this particular starting mode, I don't know. Don't ask me, but what it does do is put us with a turn 192 start. And you may be thinking, Ursa, you have 0 technologies. Yes, okay, you've been given a 6 population city, albeit one that can't actually feed itself. And you'd be saying, yes, I know you've been given 7 units and a builder, although that builder is like way over to the side. But this city has been literally stolen from Babylon. I'm at war with Babylon. I've got to survive 10 turns against somebody with 47 technologies. If I just sort of show you what that means, Babylon are over here. They're in the modern era. They could have infantry, battleships, artillery. This is World War era tech, and I have a slinger. How are we going to get back into this game? Well, we've kind of seen most of the different starts using this mod. Some starts begin in the early stages of the game, like we've played Sumeria. It plunks you in from turn 1. You play a game as people spawn in around you. It's really good fun. We played Arabia, who started about mid-game, and they started with huge populations, a lot of army, tons of gold, some tech. It was an interesting later game start. And then we got our other different locations. We had America. America are a colonial civ. They spawn into the game about 1700 AD. And they started with huge bonuses, city center buildings that gave them tons of stats. They had extra army. It was a chaotic start. We spawned into the game and then Canada immediately almost wiped us out, but it was a lot of fun. Cree, alongside Aztec, Mayans, Mapuche, I think Maori as well start like this. They all count as isolated civilizations, and this is an entirely new way to play the game. We have no bonus technology or civics at all. However, trade routes to more advanced civilizations grant 1 science for every tech they are ahead of me, and 1 culture for every civic that they are ahead of me. Now this could be rather interesting. I start with absolutely nothing. I'm at war with colonizing evil powers that have come over from the Europa Asian sort of landmass. In this particular instance, it's Babylon who early stages of the game must have done well enough in Europe to send over settlers to the American continent, and it wasn't until 1310 AD that the Cree, the Native Americans of this particular part of the world, we all ganged together and we forced Babylon out of our cultural home, the grand city of Mikisiwak. It is a very difficult one to say. I'm going to do my best over this series. Don't judge me too hard. I'm trying. That's it. We've got our independence. What do we do with it now? We've got to survive 10 turns. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. If we can make peace. We can find colonizing powers, we can trade with them, and we can literally steal their technology. Yes, we may be very far behind now, but the more exposed we get to the advanced nations of the world, the more we can catch up. And if we can do that, maybe we can catch up enough to compete with the world. It's going to be very difficult. You know what? Let's just get started. But before we get started today, I need to tell you about something concerning. Here is Ursa. Ursa was going about their daily life, chomping on crisps, playing Civ 6, when disaster struck. Ursa was unfairly expelled from Oxford University's Civ 6 program. Sad, alone, scared, Ursa made his way to the fabled promised land, the University of Sancor. But there was a catch. The head of the University of Sancor, the vampire Lord Sucklington, refused to let Ursa attend. Without 50,000 subscriptions on his application to enroll, Ursa did not qualify for their world-leading education. The University of Sancor takes only the best. Will you help Ursa stick it to Oxford? Will you subscribe today? Thank you, and back to the video. So, turn 1. Now, normally Cree spawns over here. We are playing on Saph's twin Atlantic map. I can't remember the exact name of it. Let me find it. Saph's Atlantic, A Clash of Worlds. It's wonderful. It has South America, North America, Africa, Europe, all smudged together in quite a tall, thin map with a very thin Atlantic. We've played it before. I think we may have actually played this map as Cree before. It's really, really fun. There's a very narrow divide between America and Egypt. America and Europe. Egypt could be in the game. But to back it up, we've also got a couple of modes on. Raging Barbarians mode, which means that in the early game, large hordes of barbarians can still spawn as sort of scripted events. I don't know if we're going to see one of those this game, but if we do, it'll be devastating. And colonization mode is on. There are a bunch of civilizations that deem to be European or colonizing powers. At the beginning of every era, on continents that can be colonized, like the Americas, for instance, I think it's actually scripted to recognize North America, random colonial cities will spawn up with 3 harbors, and they cannot be loyalty driven away. So it kind of simulates the European powers getting over and colonizing. And we've got 10 turns of the Renaissance era left, which is terrifyingly late into the game. We do have a golden age. I sat on a golden age that sometimes you spawn in dark and golden. It depends on when you spawn into the game. But as we play, we've got a few things to watch out for. I need to find people to trade with, because otherwise this isolated civilization will not, it won't work at all. And because of that, I need to get as many trade routes as I can. So beelining things like commercial hubs and harbors is really important. However, as we think about how we expand, eventually there is a possibility that America, Canada, or Brazil as a colonial power could spawn late into the game, and they will just seize most of my cities. It will be terrifying. So I don't want to go too far over. It's a real balancing act. Most importantly though, I really need to make sure that Babylon don't just kill me in one go. All of my units have a little bit of experience. We do have a starting army. I just need to scope out a little bit and see if Babylon is near. They are nearby. That is terrifying. I really don't want to be fighting Babylon any harder than I have to, but I have a feeling we will. My scouts are actually going to be needed to defend myself there. This is going to be such a difficult start. Cree are one of these civilizations that a lot of people love because they're so versatile, and the Mecha app is a brilliant improvement that is effectively a mine on steroids. It gives extra golden housing. It's really versatile. I'll be trying to use those as much as I can. Favorable terms means that eventually we'll be able to get some good trading routes going, but that won't stack very well with the isolated civilization. I want a lot of external international trade routes. But the first thing we need to do is get ourselves pottery. That will unlock the Mecha app, and that'll unlock another trader for me, and we can start to trade and actually start to try and catch up in this game a little bit. Let's go foreign trade. Let's give ourselves God King to try and get a Pantheon quickly, and we'll go for Survey. I'm not expecting there to be too many barbarians, and even if they are, they're going to be terrifyingly powerful anyway. I'd rather see if we can get our scouts leveled up, because an ambusher scout may be one of the few units we can get early stages that might actually be able to defeat, or at least hold Babylon back. Now, Babylon is currently in first on tech, which is a little bit worrying. Nobody is going for a culture victory at the moment. Nobody's gone for a domination victory. Religious is okay at the moment. Looks like actually Babylon has the leading religion in this game, which is this one. What do we have in our cities? Choral music, Defender of the Faith. Defender of the Faith could be an accidental misplay from Babylon there. That's really handy. Meeting house, lay ministry is kind of, just getting me to put holy sites down for culture. That's not a bad thing at all. There's a bunch of city-states near me as well. None of these have flipped to Babylon just yet, but I fear that they may very quickly. I also don't know if international trade routes will give me the ability to trade with city-states, or if it has to be major powers. We'll find that out quite quickly, I presume. But we should be expecting from Babylon at the very least pikemen, crossbows, muskets, trebuchets, all of these things the city-state has access to, which means probably Babylon does as well. We have a bunch of notifications to say who has spawned into the game. I could go through and tell you every city-state and every major player. I'm not going to. I'm going to just let it be a surprise. We're an isolated civilization. We shouldn't have that information, so I'm going to ignore it. There's been a few votes as well. I managed to snag myself 2 out of 6 points by basically guessing, which I didn't know who anyone was. So a diplomatic victory is on the table, albeit a very difficult opportunity for us. So that could be a way that we could win the game. An isolated civilization surviving against the odds, a contender to rule the world through peace and harmony. Babylon has also settled directly below me, and it looks like all over North America. I wonder if Babylon maybe have lost their original capital? No, they have their original capital. Interesting. But yeah, they really have settled all over North America. They are the sort of equivalent Spanish, European, French power in this particular game. But unfortunately, every era that passes, there's a good risk that someone else might pop up and be an equally annoying power. So we'll have to keep an eye out for it. This is going to be a really, really delicate game. We're going to have to play as defensively as possible until we can force Babylon off the continent and reclaim our homeland. We do not have the strength to strike out right now. I'm really, really being respectful of Babylon's borders because I fear that one of my units will just get one shot by whatever defenses they have in their wars. Oh, a builder. Hey, that's not bad. Oh, you know what? I'd love it if my borders actually kept these city-state troops out, stopping me from moving about my own land, which is very annoying. Yeah, here is the problem. City-states do not trigger the isolated civ bonus. Only Babylon will. I'm going to have to wait another 6 turns before we can make peace. I'm actually not... Oh, hang on, here's the thing. Do I try and make a city-state friend, or do I hold off? I'm going to actually hold off. This is a bit of a gamble. I wanted to get that trader quickly to see if that gamble would pay off, but yeah, I'm actually going to wait just for a second. If we can survive 6 turns, if I can trade with Babylon, I feel like that would be a much better use of the trade route. I'm just exploring down as far south as I can get away with without sticking my nose in trouble here. But I haven't found any city centres, which is both worrying and good in a sort of different way. Babylon's only actually met 4 other people. Oh, one thing I was going to check. If we have a look at score, we can work out who hasn't spawned into the game yet. It looks like everyone has spawned in except from one person. Only one person has less score than I do. That's worrying. That means that either America, Canada, or Brazil is going to spawn into the game. Now, Brazil would be absolutely fine. Brazil would be all the way down to the south and it would not affect me at all. Canada and America, if I've gone too far east, they're going to be nabbing cities from me and I'm not going to enjoy that. Oh, Babylon is everywhere. They've got 9 cities, but I've already counted at least 1, 2, 3, probably 4, 5 cities on my borders. So they really have a solid and intensive presence on the American continent here. It's like a crazy thing to do to be spending all of this gold early game, but I'd rather just keep improving my capital if I can. Oh, that was a pointless thing because I don't have animal husbandry. I forget I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing here. It's ridiculous. I can put a mecha wap down now. I never remember the rules on these. You get production and housing, and you get gold if it's next to a luxury, and food if it's next to 2 bonus resources. So there's a luxury, but only the 1 bonus resource. So I'm gonna get myself probably a production, a gold, and a housing from this, as well as some era score. I probably should have waited until next era to do that, seeing as I've already got the golden age. But you know what? We're living dangerously. I always forget that Babylon's watermill improvement that gives +1 food to every tile next to a river, it also of course works on snow and tundra tiles. It actually makes them incredibly useful up north. You very rarely see Babylon playing that far north, so it's not a strategy you often see, but yeah, I always forget that. These mecha waps are definitely going down, if anything just to get the craftsmanship bonus, but I also want to alleviate the housing. We've now actually got housing, which is lovely. You'll have noticed I have the irrigation, or I've actually got this luxury resource. That must have been put down by Babylon. Now, normally I spawn over here, but Babylon had clearly settled this city, and the way that the mod works is that if there are cities near your spawn point, you will just seize that city instead. I'm not entirely sure whether I would have chosen to do that. I probably would have settled over to the left a little bit more, but never mind. Oh my lord, the borders of these cities are huge. They're building Big Ben. This is a huge city down to the south here. Oh, Babylon. I wonder if some of these TSL starts haven't quite worked then, because that actually looks like it is Babylon as in the capital Babylon. Interesting. Oh well, it's just, we just have to simulate that maybe Babylon is kind of maybe the sort of, what was the English company that ruled over Canada for a while? The Hudson Bay Company. Something like that. It's sort of like an offshoot of the colonial power, which is not very good for us, but still, we have to stay wary of. Oh, that is only their unique unit. That is a scout unit. You can actually take that one on. That's Big Ben finish, by the way. But the thing about starting as late as we did is that all of the wonders in the game will have been taken. Like, there are no wonders that we could be picking up in this game. Here is a camp. Huzzah! Okay, we've now got some good tiles that we're working in now. Talabalis, Oxford University. Oh my lord, Babylon is not messing around this game. They really, really are not. So if you have noticed that animal husbandry, I'm just basically going to beeline now towards currency. I need the commercial hubs as sorted as quickly as I can get them. Come on, peace, peace. 2 turns. 2 turns. We haven't been attacked yet. That is a good thing. Babylon hasn't taken over Vilnius or Samarkand yet, which is also a good thing. All of the profits have gone, and every single great person is well up to the industrial era now, just in case anyone was wondering whether any strategies were on the table. So if you're looking at this thinking Etmananki start, or maybe we could go for a particular early game great person, nah, that's all gone. Past turn 200, by the way. At least Babylon hasn't got a spaceport. The world enters the industrial era. Okay, I am expecting to see more of these sort of colony cities popping up. That's never a good thing. But let's see what we can do. I could take anything from this list, to be honest. To arms lets us fight and produce units faster. Hicksunk Dracones would be good if I wasn't settling all on the same continent. Reform the coinage gives me a little bit more gold on my trade routes. That could be good. And then campus districts provide production. Well, I mean, I've got a couple of semi-okay campus districts, but nothing particular. So I think in this particular case, I'm going to go reform the coinage. Trade is going to be our lifeblood anyway. Let's see if we can get away with it. And Babylon will take peace. Okay, thank goodness they will take peace. Let's ask for open borders, pay them the 16 gold tax that they want. That's fine. And then all of my scouts are now going to, as quickly as possible, find their way into Babylonian land and see if we can get this trade route going. As soon as we find Babylon or any city center, I'll be trading with it as quickly as I can get away with. They have, a bunch of luxuries. Somebody has spawned into the game. Oh, okay, so Germany has an African colony. This is what I mean about the colonization mode. This is really fun. You'll see European cities just popping up all over the world. If this style of game works well, by the way, with the setup, we absolutely are going to start returning to this playing as a European power. Like, that would be a lot of fun. I'm thinking like an Elizabeth game or like a Vicky game, something like that. That could be fun. Okay, first city center sighted. And here we go. This is what we're talking about. 45 science per turn and 25 culture per turn from the trade route. It looks crazy now, and it absolutely is. What this is our trader is making its way into Babylonian territory, and we are looking at this amazingly advanced civilization with steel and not quite electricity, but this is an industrial, if not modern era civ, and we are picking up everything we can from them as quickly as possible. However, that bonus will go down very fast. It's because I'm currently 45 techs behind. If I'm getting 50 science per turn, I'm going to motor through these techs very, very quickly, and my trade routes are going to run out of steam very quickly as well. Now, I'm not saying the bonus won't be good. It will absolutely remain very powerful, but it is going to start to fall away a little bit. So don't get used to these numbers. These numbers will disappear quite quickly. Well, this appears to be the first and only trade I can do at the moment. 6 gold per turn is wonderful. 45 science, 25 culture per turn. Let's just get it going. This is how we are going to try and catch up with the AI. Can we do it? Or are we too far behind? Only time will tell. I think we're going to go through this game forever grateful that Babylon decided not just to sort of stomp us out on turn 1. They really seriously could have done. Oh, there we go. Finding all of these cities in Babylon now. Oh my lord. This is the thing. We're learning. We're going to learn so quick. We know that Macedon is somewhere in the game as well. I feel like the spawns, they're going to be slightly crazy today. Leventa as well. Lots of city-states around us. Babylon has very much allowed the city-states to remain, to leave them all with their own independent sense of identity. Maybe that's why they were willing to let the Cree exist. Who knows? There we go. Commercial hub is ready to rock, and we have another trade route going. I mean, trade route has got to absolutely be the most, the thing of the highest priority. We can also note as well, we're going to get a huge district improvement to our production, a bonus. I think of about 100%, because we started later into the game. This mod allows you to build districts faster. It's very, very nice. One problem I do have is I'm trying to buy this tile, but it keeps getting more expensive as I'm earning gold because I keep teching up. Thing is, if I start to pick up loads and loads of early game techs as well, I'm going to find my trade routes becoming less and less powerful. So do I just avoid teching up? Oh, there's a balance here. There is a real balance here, and I'm not entirely sure of the right answer. My first governor is available. I think the more I discover in this world, the better I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to do the usual good old Amani tour. Let's start in Vilnius. If we can have a look, a little look-see, go and have a look into the world, see what we can find. I think knowledge is going to be power. More people to copy means more knowledge. And we'll just buy this town before it gets too expensive. Let's get some horses in. There we go. Anything we can do to keep Babylon on the side, keep them happy. Ideally, I want to stabilize relations with Babylon as quickly as we can so that I don't have to worry about them attacking and killing us later. That would be nice. That would be very nice. This trade route is rapidly becoming obsolete as well. I mean, admittedly, it's only gone down by like 2 science and culture, but this bonus is not going to last. All I can sort of hope is that Babylon retains about 30 techs ahead of me for some time. I will start to catch up eventually. So I need an out. I need a plan to actually win the game. I still don't know what that is going to be at the moment. But having some sort of out, I think, is going to be very, very important. Amani is out now. I think the usual science and culture from Pingala is not going to be as helpful here. So we're going to go Magnus to try and pump some settlers out. My settler is rapidly making its way over to the right. I want to just quickly plonk a city down near or on the salt tile before Babylon steals it. Just it shoves another city in this area. And as you can see, some very good trade routes available to us. Oh, but look at that Babylonian route. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Bam. That is a lot of extra science and culture. If we let that one pop through now, up to 90 science per turn. So we are learning quickly. Having such an advanced neighbor, well, that is a wonderful thing. That means we're going to be learning and stealing and gaining information very, very quickly. I should just point out, by the way, no game modes are on. So no Owls of Minerva or no Void Singers or anything like that. We don't have that luxury. No, not the campus. Let's get the commercial hub down as soon as we can. The more trade we do, the more information we can steal from our more advanced neighbors. Japan and Macedon. Yeah, this is a very mixed up map. I think a lot of people who maybe had slightly strange starts in this game, or maybe the map didn't quite go that far, they've all spawned in different locations. It's not a problem. Don't mind it at all. I like playing random games, and this adds a certain variety and a certain craziness that we're going to enjoy. Alas, Macedon, I wish I'd met you when I was at war with Babylon. Would have appreciated me a little bit more, but I will get open borders with everyone I can. Cree are all about adapting, about making alliances, about being friendly, up until the inevitable betrayal of Ursa versus the AI, which absolutely is not going to happen, but totally will. Masonry and political philosophy. We've learnt that a government is absolutely going to be beneficial to us. Now, going for great person points is not ideal. It's not really going to do much for us. Saying out the yields, oh God, none of this is particularly exciting, so we're going to go for the amenity and the housing, just to grow our cities out with Classical Republic. I don't think it's necessarily because it would be the best thing to do. It just gives me better cards as well. I can go economic policies, we can go the extra gold on the trade routes, diplomatic league, let's go charismatic leader, or do we go straight for, let's go straight for settlers. I think that's going to be needed in a bit, but we need to do our districts first. Look at that. The old Ursa flipperoo as he decides about 7 things in the space of about 1 breath. Now that I've got diplomatic league set up, we know that Vilnius is going to become part of ours in a second. I'm just going to plonk that down. We're going to start farming era score, start exploring around the map, finding out as much as we can. It says -2. I know it says -2. Ignore that. Eventually. Oh, look at that. We get an extra population anyway. Oh, good. That's a lovely thing. Oh, yeah. And we've got another luxury now. Exciting. Now, Babylon probably won't like me settling there. I understand that. That's not ideal, but it's just going to have to do, isn't it? Let's whap the government plaza there, get a commercial hub there. Then we've got +3, +4, I think that one becomes. Yeah, no, I think that's okay. Do I want to do that? Or am I going to trade with the other side of my nation? I'm just thinking of using these like rubbish little snow tiles. That could be fun to do that. Yeah, scrap that. Scrap that. I'm changing my mind. I'm always changing my mind. Put it on the snow tile. Always on the rubbish snow tile. Oh, Babylon has a machine gun, by the way. So, you know I said we were learning from their tech. Not lying. I really am not lying. Ooh. I'm going to take the grievances here because they'll expire. I'm sorry, Babylon. All of this I need to settle into as fast as I can because I Yeah, I've got some issues. Well, congrats, and this time I'm allowed to vote. I'm going to vote for Amber down because it's literally alphabetical. That's what I was doing earlier. And I'm going to say fewer grievances to Babylon because it seems like a nice thing to do. We know so little about the world and we have so little voting power in it. A really isolated civ is very accurate here. Yeah, I mean, somebody won it and they're unmet. So what can you do about it? It just is. People are still spawning in. Buenos Aires. Oh, I love how that spawns in before Brazil does. I guess, yeah, maybe. It's not a science, this mod. It's a lot of fun. Let's get a watermelon quickly, get construction. Yes, I know I'm boosting through the techs fast, but I am still trying to make sure that we only do boosted tech. I don't want to leave anything on the table here. Magnus is there. Provision is now in as well. Excellent stuff. Just gonna grab this tile. I can just hear the comments already. Grab it before Babylon does. I'm doing it, okay? If I can culture bomb it, I will. In fact, I'm gonna put a little marker so that when I forget to culture bomb it, I'll have had no excuse. There are only 5 pantheons left. We can either take 1 culture from plantations, which I actually do have a plantation. Healing from holy sites. I could get bonus faith from killing things within holy sites. Both of those, by the way, they don't just apply to your own holy sites, they also apply to others. City patron goddess to actually get my first commercial hub down. Interesting. Geothermal fissures and volcanic salt. We're going to go patron goddess. Getting trade routes is a lot better for me than getting natural yields in a city. Because being honest with you, trade route yields are better than anything I can produce by a long way. God, there are a lot of city-states in North America. We're spoiled for choice. I haven't found any that are game-changing for me at the moment, but there are some really good ones out there, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Also, city-state quests. Let's try and do some of this stuff as well. Train a swordsman. If I knew how to make a swordsman, I would. I'm skipping that and I'm going straight into the medieval era. We're accelerating fast. We're accelerating fast. I'm on 13 techs now. Still 14 behind Babylon. Babylon has not slowed down, by the way. They have not slowed down at all. Apprenticeship means that I can now put down industrial zones. Just sort of randomly getting tech. Not entirely sure which ones are the best ones here for me. Maybe I should do all the basics. Get irrigation, get sailing, figure out what all that is. Leventra I'm going to pick up next turn, so let's throw my envoy over there. That'll give us some more era score. Beautiful. Leventra flips over. 2 more era score, a little bit more around the map. That's wonderful. Maybe some of these city-states eventually will be the key to attacking. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe will we attack? Who knows? Not entirely sure what's going on. Amani moves on. Tour continues. Never stops. So Magnus is in now, doing well. Do I get Pingala? Do I get Reina? Moksha, Liang, Victor. There's a lot of options for me here. I mean, Pingala would give me some yields in defense. Reina would just give me some flat out gold. Liang? No, let's get Liang. I very rarely get Liang, but she would be very handy for better builders. So that's a good step to make. We're exploring over the continent still. It's looking very nice. Let's go feudalism. Very early unlock on feudalism. That would help me get some more builders, which would be very handy. We've actually reached the edge and bottom of the North American continent now, doing our best to go and explore as much of this as we can. Let's go for Ancestral Hall. How many cities could we fit into this very small space? It's so cramped. It really is. I'm going to have to actually map this out a little bit here. I reckon I can squeeze very inefficiently 5 more cities in. So do I go for Ancestral Hall before doing that? Is it worth it? Or do I go Audience Chamber and try and make myself really happy in this little space? It's very little we can do. Eventually we're going to have to go through Babylon. I mean, I like this simulation. You know, if I could just tick up to whoever was next to me and then just run them over, people would be like, oh, the mod's giving you too much advantage. But the fact that it's Babylon, it gives it another level of difficulty that I think people are going to go, this possible? Is actually possible? We're not sure. The other thing I could do is selectively destroy and then replace city-states. So Vilnius, Samarkand. If I were to take them, I could potentially trigger an emergency if I were just to annex them. But if I were to destroy the city-state and then resettle next door, literally exactly where they were before, that is a possibility of me then expanding further. That would be one way of trying to sort of spread out a little bit. Now, the other thing, of course, I can do is make sure that I'm always in a golden age, or as much as I can, and that Babylon isn't, and then we can just keep growing from there. And maybe loyalty will push us in certain directions over another, but I can't really guarantee that's going to happen. Just going to have to give it a go. Oh, another trade route is going. Yeah, these trade routes, they are... I don't think we're going to be able to get the bonus above about 150. I think it's going to be pushing up that high, and as we then use that tech, we're going to then lose that advantage quite rapidly. Oh, Mesoamerica. Found my next continent, finally. Oh, and Britannia. I guess that is technically another continent as well. Britannia. See what I mean about the map? It's very, very squidged. That is Armagh. That's Ireland. Oh, look at all this fire. This is the sort of thing that absolutely is going to play into our hands later down the line when we may be able to, steal a city from Babylon, maybe two. I have to say, Vilnius just walking around with cavalry with 71 defense. That's not as fun. There's feudalism though. We've got stirrups. All a nice little mix for us. I've got this settler card and it's really not doing much for me at the moment, but I need to rush that through. Serfdom. Yeah, okay, no, this is all good. Now I can get 5 charge builders. Next turn, I can actually get 6 charge builders, but I just need one over in my capital first. So let's just quickly plop that one out. There is the tribal village, 40 gold. Hey, that's all good. I can save it for a market next turn, get another trader. It's okay. Now that I've got feudalism is a good little boost for me, actually. We're not far from monarchy. I'm learning how to be a king from... actually, Babylon is a classical republic, but Macedon and Japan, they're both kingdoms, and I can see them on the horizon being all kingly. I'm going, it's not a bad idea. Let's clear these woods. There we go. Ancestral Hall is now done. Now we can start kicking settlers out. Or an aqueduct. I'm actually going to get the aqueduct done just because I'm working boosts. I'm flowing boosts through at the moment. We've got military engineering to go down. There's niter in my lands. I feel like niter is one thing that I might be able to sell. Not to anyone here. But eventually I can sell some niter. That'll be good. Samarkand is actually losing loyalty. How on earth is that happening? That is very, very rare to see that one. I think there's a lot of Amanis being popped in and around to squeeze that city. That's very strange. There's a market. We get another 6 gold. Is that worth it now? Or do we get the builder first? Let's get the builder first just to accelerate this city through a little bit. 6 charges. Oh, yeah, that's what you want to see. Then we'll get the market going forward. But look, exploring out now. Starting to explore out. I'd love to find someone else to trade with, someone to go through. Actually, you know what? Shipbuilding might be quite useful here. I'm going to actually get some easy text, but it'll help me to get to sea. Oh no. Okay, Babylon's not gonna like me because I keep building too many commercial hubs. I need to spread the districts around a little bit. If they declare on me, it's trouble. It's very trouble. I've only got 15 garrison strength, and that's unlikely to go up by a meaningful amount anytime soon. Serfdom, colonization, yep, no, this is all good. Right, I think I can now switch over to producing settlers once I chop this down, get the aqueduct out, find out where the niter is. There is actually some right where I was going to settle. It's quite nice. And let's get another city-state on side for some more era score. Beautiful. Amani, your tour continues. Long may your reign. Actually, we're going to go to Armagh now. Oh, that'll explore a lot of Europe. That might give me some more people to trade with down the line. Oh, some Wales. Ecstatic cities. There we go. I'll take the 20% extra yields on everything. That's awesome. The Mayans. Okay, another isolated start. Let's find out how the Deity AI is doing compared to me. They had exactly the same start, although looks like they've got 15 population. They have 28 techs versus my 21. Oh, they're doing better than me. Oh dear. Anyway, good to meet another person out in my position, so that's looking lovely. And maybe they want some horses, Or they do. Thought they may not have horses. Okay, we've made friends of the Mayans as well. Good. Everyone's behaving themselves this game. It's very strange. I'm sort of on edge. It's the best way I can describe it. Just continually on edge here that something's going to click. Babylon, they keep hovering units by me. They've gone from 400 strength to about 1,000 strength over the course of the last 10-15 turns. That doesn't fill me with confidence. I won't lie to you. It doesn't matter how many of these routes I see. They just remain amazing. Look at that. Look at all that science and culture. It's just lovely. Babylon is building spaceports, everyone. That's always fun to see. City number 3 is just about to be popped down. I have this super monument, which is something the mod puts in. It gives you more loyalty and it gives you a lot more district production until you go over a certain amount of cities. I think I spawned in the medieval era, so I think it lets me get 3 cities before that becomes a problem. Yeah, I think it's still okay, but it's always worth keeping an eye on that. Is it gone? No, it's still there. I was allowed a 3rd city. Phew, Poland, the first of the European or true European civs that we're now seeing. Ignoring Macedon, they seem to have started in totally the wrong place. Oh yeah, so the map goes up to Poland. Very interesting. I'm just going to start sending everyone declarations of friendship if I can, and delegations and open borders. We should be able to make a lot of friends. It's a late game civ, very possible to do that. Have a gift, a small gift. Look how close Japan and Macedon started to each other. That's hilarious. Oh, real like cauldron of trouble down in North America. Giant's Causeway, Lysfjord, and that's a lot of different civilizations we found with Armagh. I'm just going to go through this and I'm going to just go and have a look at everyone's cities and see how many friends we can make from all of this. Look at all these people. Oh, I bet Portugal's doing good on this. Yeah, 705 gold per turn. They certainly are. Arabia are in control of the UK. Sure. Looks like Poland is in Scandinavia. Germany is in actual Germany. That's nice to see. We've got French Eleanor of Aquitaine with 9 cities. Oh, I really, really want Eleanor to do well. We have China under Wu Zetian, who seems to be kind of in the north of South America. We've got the Ottomans down there as well. My lord, that is a lot of people. Let's see how many of them I can make friends. All right, fairly uneventful. I did manage to get Eleanor to befriend me, which is quite nice. I'd love it if we can just throw great works at Eleanor. Do you reckon we can create a situation where she starts taking over Europe? That would be quite amusing if we could. The really interesting thing is that so much of the sort of New England, Maine, we've got Iceland, the sort of tip of Greenland, all of this is totally unoccupied, which is very exciting. Maybe the Cree actually do have some places to expand into this map if we're good. I gave everyone a delegation, everyone open borders, and actually quite a few people want to be my friends. Not everyone, quite a few people. Oh, my scout just got one hit by a barbarian privateer. Ah, yes, it's part of the fun of having very, very weak scouting units. Oh my lord, Mausoleum is still available. What is the game doing? I shouldn't be available. Good old industrial zone finished in my capital, looking beautiful, especially now that I've got a workshop in this city as well. Oh yeah, right, let's get these settlers out quickly now. I was thinking about using my gold to buy a settler, but it makes more sense to buy the workshop because the settler gets 50% bonus production both from the card and also from my government plaza, so there's no point buying settlers. Just working on growing the population of my capital up a little bit. Samarkand is going to flip. I'd love it, especially if Babylon didn't fall into a golden age. If they fell into something worse, I'd love to be there to pick up the advantage. Pick up the pieces, steal the city-state. It would be a lovely thing indeed. That's alliances open, mate. So, what are we going to do? Well, don't forget, Poundmaker gets shared visibility when every alliance. So, we need to explore the entire world. I need to make sure that we can do that. We've got loads of this era left. I think, first of all, an alliance with Eleanor of Aquitaine in any game is always really fun. I'm not going to be looking to settle around her, so I don't want to give her cultural. She'll take military, though. I mean, she's strong. Yeah, fine. I will take a military ally in Eleanor of Aquitaine, and I'll take some gold per turn for it as well. Right. Every time, as the Cree, you make an alliance, you then have to give your computer about 7 minutes to load the map up. There we go. There's the rest of the world. Again, there's a lot of people here. I'm going to invite myself into the city of everyone. I need to get a diplomatic square open as soon as I can. So many people have sent me embassies. I really, really want to make that a big thing. There you go. We've also circumnavigated the globe now. You can see Incans are where they should be. Russia looks like they've spawned down with Mapuche. Egypt on the coast of South America as well. So yeah, it's all of the civs that don't have a start. They've just been thrown into random starting locations this time around. Portugal has done its best to kind of settle down into Africa. These are all the colonies I was talking about. Oh, I love the fact that Goa is just there as a random colony. Marseille is doing the same thing. Is this Portugal as well? This mode. Okay, we're going to have to play with this mode on a huge, map. This is going to be so much fun. Rome is in the right place. Okay, it's kind of everyone now. Or is it? No, one person hasn't spawned in yet. What's the betting? Either it's going to be Brazil, or it's more likely to be America or Canada, isn't it? This would be the absolute death blow if it was one of these. City-states might disappear, Japan might disappear, Babylon might disappear, but I'm nowhere near it at the moment. In case you were wondering, by the way, out of all of the new starts, I am definitely doing the worst. I mean, Egypt is doing appallingly anyway. Poor Egypt. I'm on 26 techs, the Mayans are on 31, Mapuche's on 33. Incans have got all the way up to 39. They have by far outperformed everyone else so far. I think when they spawned in, they must have claimed some cities with them because they are an isolated star. But yeah, here they are, still doing very well and eating Favour alive. That's mad. I'm going to make an ally out of Japan. Reason for this is if Japan does, or if Babylon chooses to attack me, then at least I've got a really, really good ally the other side of them. I'm going to pay a little bit of gold per turn, but Arabia and a cultural alliance sounds really good because they are all over the UK. And this is probably the best way of avoiding some loyalty issues there. So that's what we're going to do. And you know what? I'm going to grab Macedon as another ally, just protecting myself from Babylon. And my Poche, that'll give me some visibility over the end of the map. Look at this. South America is huge on this map and I love it. I'm all about it. Zulu just spawned into the map. Okay. Well, I'm not at war with them, but they're the last people. Are we not getting an America or a Canada? Interesting. Where did you spawn, Zulu? Oh, right in the middle of Inca. Oh dear. Oh my lord, they just took a 22 population capital right next to Cusco. Oh, that's going to fragment and destroy the Incan Empire almost instantaneously. I love this mode. The chaos of it is just genius. That's everyone though. Everyone's in the game now, so we don't have to worry about anyone spawning in the rest of America. That's really good to know. Okay, yeah, we've got to go and settle over here as quickly as we can. We've got to stop Babylon from stealing all of the space because they will. All resources are going into settler production. We've only got 4 that we need to settle down in this little clump, but if I don't get this area, I will regret it massively. So we're going to do that first. Then we'll go. Then we'll start settling. Oh, some really good farms in this city now. Oh, I got friendship with Babylon. Okay, that's good. Feel a little bit safer now. Just a little bit. We're Creeing our way through this. We are creating favorable terms of alliances to befriend everyone. It's mad how quickly the map just gets revealed with Cree. You know, one accidental victory about this entire setup is, look, Vilnius, Samarkand, both producing farms right on my borders, causing me to have some amazing little farm triangles here. Look at that. I can actually afford to move this farm into this city to make sure that it works. Just need to force a bit of food into that city to keep it growing. Food in the tundra cities, not so good. Also, I really need to start saving up Diplo Favour. Like, yeah, fine. I'm still only 2 of 20 points. I think at the moment, it looks like one of the few, if only, ways that I could possibly try and win this. Oh yeah, I really need a Diplo Plaza. I've had about 10 embassies come in the last 2 turns. There's a lot of diplomatic favour I'm leaving on the floor. Look at it. Look, I'm not even kidding. Every turn, like 3 or 4 of them come in. Monarchy time. Yay. We have evolved into something better, to something glorious. Republican legacy, settlers, serfdom. Yes, all of this stuff is really good, but we need to start putting up walls as quickly as we can. And I think I like the idea of getting more horses, because then I can sell them. Maha, the great horse market. I'm just spending a little bit of turn planning out where would be good in terms of cities around this sort of area. Chance of me getting all of these are pretty much slim to none. You have to be ambitious with the planning, which is fun as an extra horses every turn. 5 extra production. Yeah, my industrial zone is actually pretty good, and we're starting to chop some really good stuff out now. 10 pop in my capital means that I can build the aforementioned diplomatic quarter nice and quickly. I'm just going to plonk it there just to make my commercial hub a little bit better. Actually, I'm regretting not making an alliance with Babylon now. Just about to get Visselbanken. Visselbanken would have given me a lot of extra food and production on my trade routes. I've got 4 of them, still all producing 30 science per turn for me, which is a lovely thing. Yeah, being able to grow out a city even more, that would be helpful. Samarkand is definitely going to fall. It's a shame I don't really have troops that could be used here. I could get man-at-arms, but I feel like against medieval walls, not going to be super effective. Oh, Babylon is officially going to space now, by the way. It has happened. They haven't got satellites yet, but they are going in that direction, and that is a little bit sad. -3 loyalty, you say, for a city? Ah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's got 2 population. It's got a builder. What could go wrong? I have settlers rapidly making their way east, by the way. Like, I am trying. But Japan's probably going to get there first. France is probably going to get there first. They have the huge advantage. They haven't got the entire Great Lakes and Canadian wilderness to go through, with no real concerted access through Babylon cities. Their encampments and their cities are very difficult to move through. Like, I can't get through this stuff. Dear oh dear. We really are hoping for a Babylonian Dark Age. That would be, it would be so good. It's unlikely though. If Babylon's going to space, means they're probably earning quite a few achievements and era score things for doing stuff first. Which Just one of those things. So normally the AI does quite well in that circumstance, but it's okay. We can push anyway. I'm also really, really hoping at some point the World Congress is going to give me the ability to culture bomb, because if we can do that, I can go boom and take at least 2 tiles, which would be quite amusing. Oh, that's good. Now the diplomatic quarter is done. Now the consulate is done, making 16 favor per turn. That is a lot healthier. This vote is going to be a bit squeaky, but the vote after that, I'm hoping we should have a lot of influence over. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Davalex, Skeptical Bear, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Rom88, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Boyzoro, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Esri Dax, Deeble Time, Shoelace, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Clint Hennis, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Victor McPupster. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!